Trump said he'll unleash an oil boom. ExxonMobil CEO says not so fast. President-elect Donald Trump's promise to unleash a big oil boom in the U.S. and lower gas prices is running up against a market reality. The world is already awash in fossil fuels. ExxonMobil CEO Darren Woods told Semaphore on Tuesday that while he wanted to maintain U.S. oil production at its current highs, the market was already well supplied. "I don't think today that production in the U.S. is constrained," he said. "I don't know that there's an opportunity to unleash a lot of production in the near term." During his presidential campaign, Trump said he planned to lower energy prices, including the cost of gas, by increasing U.S. oil production. "We will frack, and drill, baby, drill," Trump said last month. "It'll cut your energy prices in half within 12 months. In September, Trump said he would reduce gas prices to below $2 a gallon. Energy analysts told Business Insider that big oil companies were more focused on returning money to shareholders than investing in projects to boost production, especially since China isn't importing as much oil because of its economic downturn. Their comments underscore how little control a U.S. president has over the oil and gas market, including prices at the pump. "It's a global market," Ben Cahill, the director of energy markets and policy at the University of Texas at Austin, told BI. "There's very little any president can do to change the direction of oil or gasoline prices." Cahill added that he expected the U.S. to increase oil production, but that it would happen gradually. The U.S. is already producing record amounts of oil. In 2023, the latest year for which annual data is available, it produced 12.9 million barrels of crude a day, compared with about 11 million barrels a day in 2020, when Trump was in office, and last year, the U.S. became the world's biggest exporter of natural gas. In October, the U.S. Energy Information Administration projected that the U.S. would produce 13.5 million barrels of crude oil a day in 2025, which would be another record. And there's room for the industry to expand. Woods told CNBC earlier this month that there were areas in the Gulf of Mexico where federal leasing hasn't allowed companies to drill that could be a source of additional oil production in the long term. Patrick DeHaan, the head of petroleum analysis at GasBuddy, told BI that Trump could take some steps to try to boost U.S. oil production, including easing regulations to open up additional places for companies to drill and working with OPEC. However, he said boosting oil production while keeping prices at a desired level was a delicate balance for the industry. "If oil prices drop, you're likely to see a natural decline in U.S. oil production over the long run," he said, adding, "Oil companies have shareholders to be accountable to." In recent years, the U.S. increased oil production even as President Joe Biden imposed stricter limits on greenhouse gas emissions from power plants, oil and gas infrastructure, and gas-powered vehicles to help slow the climate crisis. In a separate interview with the Wall Street Journal, Woods said the U.S. shouldn't drop out of the Paris Agreement, as Trump did in his first term and has promised to do again. The nearly 200 countries signed onto that agreement struck a deal last year at the UN Climate Summit to move away from fossil fuels this decade and triple renewable energy by 2030. Woods told Semaphore that he supported Biden's limits on methane emissions from the oil and gas sector. Exxon and other U.S. oil majors have goals to reduce emissions, but climate scientists say they aren't aggressive enough to avert catastrophic levels of global warming.